Dear beloved Creator within and without, we gather to acknowledge our unity and our collective purpose. We know from deep within that it is up to each of us to hold a moral and ethical line when seeing it crossed. We ask for your protection, Creator, from all hostility or roadblocks, so that our humankind can live in the abundance and the compassionate world you created. So now as we are putting on the armor of God, it is you, it is me, it is us. We are the ones who are taking this on, and together, because it is our calling to put a halt and then a correction to the harm that is coming to us, and especially at our children. They are the innocent ones. As their protectors, we cannot be naive or uninformed, and so we gather our spirits in your name, Creator of all that is. And so it is.
Thank you, Charlie. Would you guys that are here now unmute and we'll sing happy birthday to Ray?
I'll start it.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear Ray.
Ray. Happy birthday to you. Oh my.
Happy birthday, Ray Zinkle.
Happy birthday, Ray.
We're not a choir.
But we remembered.
For one.
Okay, back to work. My name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Charlie stayed with me on this one after the prayer and the happy birthday, and she'll tell you what we're going to do. I yield.
So we are on Oregon. We are the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, and we are ever aware of the significance of honoring the original Constitution of the United States of America. And in there is the Second Amendment. We are in support of the Constitution as it was written. And why do we have that important amendment in our Constitution? The Second Amendment. It's to protect ourselves from an egregious government out of control. And we know that this government right now is loaded with all kinds of, I would say, conspiracy, really, and individuals, persons who are doing whatever they wish to do, despite the fact that they're not honoring their oaths, they're not providing us with their bona fides, they're not really upholding anything that we honor as truth in the Constitution. And so we feel like this particular vote that was done in the Oregon, what was it, the primary? Or was that second? What was that last election that the voters voted against certain elements of gun? Well, it was gun control.
Yeah.
So all these red flag laws that are happening, they're encroaching bit by bit by bit and taking away our ability to protect ourselves from an egregious government. And we know that that's what's happening. We know that there is so much corruption and that we're just being overridden as the people. So we, as Article 1, Section 1 of the Oregon Constitution, stand up in our social compact to address this issue, which is now going to go to the Ninth Circuit Court. When here we are having voted supposedly on Oregon, and it's been tossed around, and there's a particular judge, a U.S. District Court Judge Karen Immergut, who ruled that the state's new law didn't violate the Second Amendment to the United States, the U.S. U.S. Constitution. So that's not right. That is not going to be acceptable to us. And so we are an Article 3 court. We are a common law court. We're the only court on Oregon with any legitimacy constitutionally who can address this issue, document it, and call them out for their misstep, I would say, in what is truly justice for the people. So I give that over to you, Ron.
Good job, boss. Here's the things that bother me. One is there is no authority for anybody to make any kind of move on the Second Amendment for two reasons. One is the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly is the Second Amendment well-regulated militia on Oregon. And the FBI and the DOJ and the marshals and the sheriffs, they all acquiesce to that. That's established. That's who we are. And they infringed against us as the Second Amendment well-regulated militia. That's one. The second one is they infringed against you and me, Charlie, by making any kind of a move on anything to do with guns. They have no authority there. And then the next thing is a judge did it. Now, when you read Amendment 7 in the Constitution, it says if the value of whatever is in question is worth more than $20, it's got to be done by a jury. Well, surely the Second Amendment encroachment has a value of more than $20. So it can't be done by a judge. It has to be done by a jury, an Amendment 7 jury. The only.
May I read it?
Go ahead, yes.
Amendment 7. In suits at common law, and that is who we are, we're a common law court, where the value is controversy shall exceed $20. The right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States, and that's with a capital C court, then according to the rules of the common law. That's it.
Yes. And it says United States, the proper name for the service company that the United States of America hired to do the job, and they gave them some dirt in Washington District of Columbia, not to exceed a 10-mile square. So we have a judge that's making a decision where only a jury can make that decision. That's wrong. Then we have they're making the decision against the militia, and that's wrong. And then there's another one that's in there that is just really interesting, and that's that they couldn't implement what the Ninth said because there's a lower circuit court with a ruling that's stopping it also, and that's Harney County. And they're going to have a trial in November, I believe. Is that right, Charlie? Is
That's
that
what
what
I
the article
understand. Yes.
said?
Yes.
Okay, so then we have a claim of cognizance here. At the very least, or the very most, depending upon where you're coming from, I guess, the court in Harney County must share the jurisdiction with the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly Civilian Court of Record because they're making decisions on the Constitution, which involves the militia and our unalienable rights guaranteed by the Constitution. So we provided a paper to Lane County. Didn't do much good, Lane County's kangaroo court, but we provided them a proper paper saying that the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly Civilian Court of Record has at least dual jurisdiction with the Harney County Court, just like we had it with the Lane County Court. they had to prove their jurisdiction, and they never did. We have proved ours. But then the Harney County Circuit Court could be one of those exceptions where the judge is elected apart from the judiciary from the state of Oregon. Could be. I think that's how Sherman County is. They have their county judge is elected. And I yield.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I've always found it curious that the judges are listed on our ballots for us to vote for, but there's no information on them. They don't campaign. And there's sometimes not an opposing candidate, so to speak. I don't believe that the judges on the ballots have any kind of way to verify, except by one's experience in their court or whatever. I think it's almost ridiculous that we vote for judges. They're appointed, aren't they, by governors of the states? Isn't that true? A lot of them? Most of them?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
There's two different classes, and I think it comes back to Article 7 amended and Article 7 original. And I think some of the counties, like I'm pretty sure Sherman County, is kind of off in the weeds as opposed to what the Salem oligarchy would like to have.
Well, I want to just share something that someone posted today on one of our chats that I thought was really important. And that is that there's an article that was posted, and it says it clearly states that there have been no judges in America since 1789. So that means that every single civil case wherein it is signed judge is void and fraud upon our courthouses. Every single civil case is treason, and it's all based on fraud. The courts are basically fraudulent enterprises through their CRIS system making money on the people. And you can look that up, capital C, capital R, capital I, capital S. It's a court money-making system. I yield.
So, what do you say we bring this up tomorrow at the Action Committee and make a decision and inform everybody tomorrow night and get this video on YouTube as soon as we can? I
Yeah.
yield.
Okay, and we'll make a document, we'll make a notice and demand from our court to their court, the Ninth Court of Appeals.
Yes, and also notify the Harney Court. We're coming after them too. Yeah.
Oh, yes. All right.
Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you, everyone.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.